In today's Smart Money, inflation concerns, bank failures, economic uncertainty, it all continues to be a daily topic of discussion. ABC 7 financial contributor Brian Mirau joins us today. And Brian, for people who are just retired or are getting ready to retire, these past few years have not made it easy. The Federal Reserve started increasing interest rates to help tamp down inflation, and that certainly caused a wave of uncertainty for consumers and investors.
Well, Mark, thanks for having me today. And, high inflation and aggressive moves by the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates, it caused both stocks and bond markets to plunge last year, leaving people wondering about the best way to preserve their retirement savings. No one is alone right now in their worries about having enough money. In fact, this month, Google actually unveiled the 10 questions that Americans ask most about retirement. And the number one question is, how much do I need to retire?
And Brian, I will ask that question. How much does someone need to retire?
Well, Mark, it really depends on each household's goals and objectives. But a good rule of thumb is to look to replace at least 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income. However, most folks that we visit with don't necessarily want to reduce their standard of living the day they retire.
And Brian, many still feel concerns about the bank failures. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, says it's still too early to say whether problems with the banking industry could cause high inflation to continue longer.
Well, I don't see inflation going up much more, but I do think that it's going to stay at this high level for the foreseeable future. Now, the bank failures are not as much of a concern as other aspects of our economy. The supply and demand chains got in bad shape during COVID, and shortly after that, and it's the leading factor to these high inflation rates. The Fed will most likely raise interest rates even more this year to combat inflation. So we want to be sure and keep our eyes on that.
All right, so what other big questions are you hearing from clients right now? What are people most worried about?
Well, most of what I'm hearing about right now, Mark, is surrounding inflation and expenses, going up. Just overall worries about our current economy and our government. Folks just want to make sure that they have enough money to last for retirement, and income planning is something that is especially important right now for retirees.
Brian, talk about what goes into a retirement income strategy that can help us have enough income in retirement.
Well, Mark, when planning for retirement, an income strategy, there's really four major areas that you have to be efficient against. You want to be efficient against taxes, inflation, paying unnecessary fees and expenses, and most of all, market risk. And if you're not efficient against these four areas, you can find yourself dripping nickels all over the place, thus causing your retirement nest egg to run out before you do. And we have a tool that we use called a retirement analyzer. And this is an advanced planning tool that helps answer the questions of how much do I need and will my money last? And we're going to run that free of charge for any of our viewers today. And Mark, one more thing. We're also offering a free complimentary copy of my new book titled Smart Money for the Backside of Life for anyone wanting to set a visit. Now, in my book, I discuss many aspects of retirement that folks deal with on the backside of life.
And all you need to do is text the word retire to 915-233-2904 for your free retirement income analysis. And you can also set a visit to receive a copy of Brian's new book, Smart Money for the Backside of Life. Again, the number 915-233-2904. Text the word retire. And you can also visit Brian's website at miraucapital.com/TV. ABC 7 financial contributor Brian Mirau, of course, thank you for your time, sir.
Mark, thank you for having me today.